Hey y'all, happy 2013 from Washington. Um, Figured since it's a new year, it would probably be good if I did a video reflecting on my past and then bringing in all the good parts of this last year and what has changed in my life. So, um, whenever I was younger, I uh, I never really got along with my parents too much. My mom was very neglectful, and my dad was never around. Um, I remember whenever I was younger, it almost seemed like I was always alone, even though I had my siblings there. Um, and it actually got worse as I got older. Even though I had three siblings, it I still felt alone, and so I was always gone. I'd always try and find reasons to never be home because I just didn't fit in with my siblings. Whenever I was younger, my dad used to he used to have me beat up my siblings a lot. Um, he used to have us fight all the time, and there was one night in particular where um, he had been drinking a bit and had decided, since I wasn't exactly very tough or masculine, that he was going to help make me tougher. So he decided to um, pin me on the ground, and he grabbed both my hands, and while he was sitting on my stomach, made me by grabbing my wrist, made me punch myself in the face. Mind you, it wasn't that hard, but he did it for an hour straight. And I remember because I was looking at the clock that was directly behind him the whole time. Um, I remember getting in a lot of fights with him. Never, I never really could do anything because he was always so much bigger than me. But I remember him always getting in my face and always screaming and yelling and all this other stuff. And that's probably why I can't talk to him even now. Um, Almost getting choked up just talking about it on here, but um, eventually it ended up getting bad enough whenever I was older that um, I was always gone, and I ended up eventually talking to my aunt and my uncle and was going to move in with them on my 18th birthday, but there was a little bit of an issue before that, and me and all my siblings ended up moving over to my aunt and my uncle's um, a little bit before my 18th birthday. And so I ended up living with them a lot, and I've just had so many issues that I had to deal with whenever I was over there, specifically with my siblings. Continuing on that, um, by that time, my siblings had kind of picked up on some of my stuff. There had been a couple of times where some of my clothes had been found and stuff like that, and it was never a very good thing. It was always treated like it was. I probably could have beaten one of my siblings and probably gotten talked less sternly to. Um, and then after a couple of years, I ended up graduating high school, and I ended up getting out of my aunt and my uncle's place, and I didn't really have any place to go, and I ended up back at my dad's place, and this was after staying with a friend of my mom's for a long time, and I actually got up the courage to actually um, tell her that I was transgendered, and basically the only thing she had to go and say to me about it was that that was all nice and all this other stuff, and that she was supportive, but then right once I was done talking, she basically flipped a 180 and basically told me that she wasn't supportive at all, and told me to just keep it to myself. And that's the issue. That's what I had been doing, and it was not very healthy. I was doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have been doing, and the only people that were there were the friends that I had spent all my time with. And even then, I was kind of overstaying my welcome whenever it came to them. Even I was putting a lot of stress on them, and I feel very bad about it even now. And it's I've had so many issues that I've had to deal with, and I remember very specifically um, with my dad. I couldn't even tell my dad directly. I ended up having to write him a letter, and I ended up writing it to him. And he didn't say anything for a long time, and then about a week and a half later, then he just ripped into me about it and started going on about how I was dragging his name through the dirt by acting like a freak, and that really hurt. And I just wanted some sort of family acceptance. And I ended up getting it from a lot of my friends that were around. I actually had a friend that was a FTM, and he was the only one that really understood what I was going through. And I ended up talking to him a lot. And eventually I ended up coming out to all my friends, and things ended up being a little bit better, but only just for a while at least. I ended up having a lot of issues with them as well. And I have worked things out with them, and I'm very happy I have, but there was a time that I was afraid that I had lost them too. But I ended up pushing through that, and I ended up moving, and I ended up finding a job. I ended up getting into counseling, and from there I was able to go and see my doctor, and now things are going a lot better for me, but it still hurts looking back on my childhood and thinking on how my parents and my siblings couldn't be there for me because they were too busy with worrying about what other people would think of them rather than worrying about how I felt. Because honestly, there was a few times where I didn't want to continue going on anymore. And I'm just glad that things worked out the way that they did, because otherwise I probably wouldn't be here making this video right now. But I have a lot of things to look forward to in 2013. I have my first checkup after starting hormones coming up here in 3 days, and I already know things are going to get better from there. My parents still haven't come around, but I would like to think that they're at least a little bit closer now than they were then. I'm sorry for getting all emotional in this video. I kind of didn't think that I was gonna, but today I'm just trying to keep my hopes up, and I know that things are only gonna get better because I have a lot of really great people around me now, and a lot of really good friends, and even friends that I've met online that I have never met in person are probably the people that have influenced me the most, and I want to thank you all for that. And I don't have too much more to say as far as this video goes, but I just hope that 2013 goes well for not only me but all of you as well, and Happy New Year.